Let's get rid of the double sound. And Yahtzee. And Nazi. And get out of here. Now, let's see if the chat messages are popping up on a restream. Dream Temple. Bam. Okay. Now. Chat. No, that's a big fat nada. Let me see if I can maybe reconnect. I really got to figure this stuff out. Ooh. No boo. No bueno. No bueno at all. Display name. Test. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. That's not what I wanted to do at all. Oh no, this is terrible. Unless... Toast? Nah. Big fat nothing. And well, it has renamed the channel, so oh, that's just the name. Oh well. Oh well. Whatever. Whatever. I'll figure this out at some point. Now, where's this thing? Here we go. Now then, where did I leave off? I tried to set up. Oh yeah, and I gotta post this stuff here. Chat. Livestream's on. Copy link, paste link. Here we go. Now, let's get started. Radio request, radio station. Still waiting. This thing to load up. I don't think it's loading up. Main project folder, main menu. Don't save. Okay. Anyways. Kind of want to go into Substance Painter and see if I can make a texture for this, but then again, you know, kind of need to wait. Hold on a second. Isn't there stuff like app, game, kit, texture stage? So set object image. Okay, so this is just for all meshes, and this sets an object mesh to use this image when rendering. Mesh can have up to 8 images assigned to it into texture stages 0 to 7. Place image in stage 0. Texture stages can be used to assign multiple images to a mesh. For example, you might put base, diffuse, normal, and light map. Stage 0. The shader used to draw this object can then combine the various textures into a pixel value to show on screen. Using an image value of 0 for particular texture stage removes any assigned image from that stage. Mesh indices are in range 1 to get object num meshes. See, I don't know how many. Don't really know how many meshes I'm going to be using here. So, let me put on some music actually. Some ambient stuff would probably be nice right about now. Should be okay. Anyways, another thing that I'm gonna have to look into is adding the ambient occlusion to the mesh above. But other than that, this is pretty straightforward. Now, as far as this place is concerned, was that? What was that noise? Okay. So here's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to smooth this mesh with a whole bunch of divisions. That is an interesting way to smooth mesh. Huh. 5? Sure, I can always reduce it later on. The only thing is, I should really include these faces with it. Smooth. Sure. Something like this would be okay. Don't even really need to use a sculpting tool too. I can just make it up here. They don't need a whole lot of stuff here. This is actually the point where I'm gonna have to figure out the Y collision for uphill movement. Can't really be ignoring that any longer. Not with this mesh, at least. Okay. Now. You know what? Maybe that's what I should do right now. Right, I'll just add this stuff. Export selection. Main menu island. Okay. And total commander. Which one am I using? I gotta write some new music for live streams. Okay, so what is going on up here? Oh yeah. See, there's a bit of a disconnect between the axis I'm using, whether it's whether it's an OBJ file or an FBX file. So let's start using the OBJ files. So let's figure out this Y, or yeah, this stuff, the Y positioning with the gravity. So here's the deal. ZSP. Now, besides this stuff, where's the other sphere cast that I'm using here? Really? Nowhere else? Really? I'm totally using it here. Oh, I guess it's object raycast, eh? Slide. See, this is all like Y ordering. I need to get a new Y position depending on my rotation. Kind of an important one. Maybe it's something to do with the vectors. Not a big help there. vector 3. X, Y, Z. I'm gonna have to ask this on the forum. I know there's a function like this in GameMaker Studio. It does it for you, but I'm not too keen on the math of it here, so I'll just have to ask it here. X, Y, and Z. Positions from starting X, Y, and Z for rotation. X, Y, Z rotation. If I want to position an object just off just off jeez just off it would probably be better if my microphone was actually on. Fuck. Oh. Well, you did say you were in French, so can't really help you much there. You know, besides omelette du fromage. That seemed to have solved a lot of problems in Dexter's lab. So, you know. Okay, now that I've posted the question, let's see if I can figure this out on my own. Let's see. Okay, hold on. So, what if I do app game kit delta position? Also, gotta log into Slack. Yay. Excuse me. So what I need to do is what's this? Okay, so let's see. Various 3D file formats. Ah, okay. Okay, while I am here, okay, delta, I think that's what I need. Get offset position. Not sprite position, but offset. Offset 3D particles, close but no cigar. Offset sprite, that's not it. Ah, man, I can offset an object. But maybe rotation. Set object rotation quad. This isn't helpful. rotation vector sensor. That sounds like a mobile thing. Yeah, 3D physics static plane rotation. Yeah, that's not helpful. Get raw rotation vector X. Device orientation. Yeah, that's not. Ah, Lord. Okay. Okay, app game kit. Rotate object around. Okay, don't care about sprite. Fix object pivot. This is interesting. Ah. Maybe. Maybe. Okay, so I can do pivot. Fix. Oh, that don't really? Really? Resets the object position rotation to 0. Ah. Okay, so I see. So first position the object to whatever offset you need. Then reset the pivot. And then position it where it has to be located at. That might actually work. So if I then use sphere or object raycast, I might be able to do this. Okay, let's try this out. But before I do this, I need to create a new class. So let's do that. Class. Add. Yeah, let's do this. Dream Temple class, main, menu. Finish. So from here, first of all, need to copy this thing. This will be in the public. Excuse me. Actually, no, this would have to be in here. Should I put it in the constructor script? No, not constructor script. I'm not firing this as soon as it's created. Technically I should be, but I'm not. DTC main menu setup. Here we go. Now in here I'm gonna say variables (3D objects). I don't even know. Try to make this look nice. Oh well. So variables 3D objects. In here we're gonna load up this thing. Void and void. functions. So this is fine, and I need to include template.h. And over here, this should now be, I think, working. Let's, yeah, there we go. Okay, so this will be the setup. Now, first of all, in the begin script, I'm no longer firing. Let's see, where's the, I'm no longer creating an object level ascension. Right. I'm no longer adding the player to the level ascension. And I'm no longer firing the terrain generation, because that one's kind of important. Now, I am also not passing the network object, the level object, which may or may not cause this thing to crash and not work. So let's see, but what we are going to be doing is create objects. First thing that I'm going to need to do is cpp obj right, it's DTC main menu, and we're going to create cpp main menu. Oh yeah, and of course I need to include this. Beautiful. So now we have the network set up, and we should have the main menu set up. Now, realistically, right after we create this, we need to have this thing, this thing, fire off the setup script. Alright, here goes nothing. Let's see if this thing works. Build errors, of course. Missed stuff. Oh yeah, of course. Come on. Oh yeah. Access violation, reading from location. That's not good. And it's gonna take a while to figure out, no doubt. Okay. Setup. Okay. Can't really... Wait, hold on a second. Does it actually stop? Stop. What if I break here? Come on. Come on. I'd like to break there. Thank you very much. Here we go. So break here. Exception thrown. What if I break before? Access violation. Okay. It's creating an object right there, actually. Isn't it? Of course it is. So, why did I have two of these objects? I totally have two of these objects. Why is that? Should be an object level ascension. Don't need that. I think it was only assigning actually stuff to the thing. Undeclared. Right, yes, of course. Lab dates. Okay, here we go. We are now here. Let's go ahead and create our object. Here. It is, oh. Okay, well it's running. I know that it's running. And I am running the setup. So, what's up? Setup general. Oh yeah, of course. I commented this stuff out. Why would it work? Main menu mesh. Here we go. Jesus. Nice. Okay, so now I need to copy a number of things. First of all, I need to take level ascension .cpp and get the raw key state for this thing. Instead of here, it needs to be in the general, which is actually in the window next to it. General CPP setup, general update, debug toggle, and obviously the quit button. I'm gonna have to make some sort of a template for all the main menu level stuff. Okay, good. Now, main menu setup. This is where we gotta set things like light, object, set object light map. Okay, how about shadow? Of course I'm at the very end of it. Okay. Well, the horror music is playing. Set sun active. Let's copy this. Fog, shadows, and directional light. After which, I also need to set up sky. Set ambient color right. Skybox. And I'm gonna need to load up these objects. There's something I'm gonna have to do with the way I'm organizing loaded stuff. It has to be done in a list so that it's easy to destroy stuff. Startup. Okay. Load objects. So we're gonna go skybox. Actually, load objects is probably going to be here. Load objects, maybe even tab, skybox. Terrain, level terrain. Almost certain that there are missing variables. Yep, the sprite for the skybox that needs to be loaded up. Sky night. Okay, here we go. Load sky box image. Actually, no. Load textures and sprites. Nope, don't need to declare it. Declaration comes in here. integer. Here we go. Any more complaints? Not that I can see. Let's start this up. Okay, beautiful. And the shadows are working. Now that I have this stuff set up, I can actually figure out my yep, I can figure out my situation with the 3D things, with the collision stuff. So in the setup, I believe we are always facing the same way. So how about this? Level ascension. No. Player.h. Can I move this stuff? No. Okay, that's fine. Player objects and variables. Integer. Climb sphere. In the player setup, climb sphere equals AGK, create sphere. And this thing is asking for create object sphere. Oh, shut up. It's in there. You just gave me a suggestion for it. Diameter of rows and columns. Okay. So diameter, let's start diameter of 5, 15 and 15. Beautiful. Now I believe this thing is just going to get created where the player is standing at that point in time. Is it? I don't see it. Maybe diameter is too small. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so I probably want to also HK position, set object position. We'll take this object and XYZ. So we'll do 0, 0, 0, except this 0 is going to be 150. Maybe more like 100. That ought to do it? Maybe? Oh, that's right. The main level is actually dropped 100 something. So, hey, there we go. There's the sphere. And I can jump on it. Nice. So, here's what needs to be done. As far as I know, if this stays as 0, 0, 0, so X, Y, Z. So I need this to be maybe 50. After which, I need to reset the pivot. Fix object pivot, yeah. Here we go. So this will set the pivot back to 0, 0, 0, but the object will stay there. So this means now I can actually do the following. Where's my update script? Update collisions. Here we go. WASD motion. Here we go. So we're gonna set position to get object X. Here we go. Collision X old, Y old, and Z old. Except Z is going to be plus 50. I just want to see that object. Run it around. There we go. Nice. So it's working. Now, in order to start getting a better idea of what it looks like, let's start with maybe a nice 20 radius so I could get a feel for what the size of this thing is. And now the offset, let's set this thing to maybe 25. Still too far. So really, see, it's got to be more like 5. 5. There we go. And let's make sure that it's not intervening with our motion. Still not doing too good. So what, 10? I think it's got to be outside of the radius that I'm checking for ground collisions, which is, I'll take a look in a second. Yep, still shitty. This thing, 15, so really get this the current XYZ. I know it's technically this is the current, but I don't remember what the hell I'm doing with it later on, so let's just keep this thing as that. So, as far as the camera goes, mouse look. Where's the... set camera position. Camera rotation. I'm rotating the camera directly. Okay, so I'll just have to get the camera rotation here then. Get camera. What's that? No. Get camera angle X. And then Y and Z will be set to 0. This is how to do it. Oh yeah. Which camera am I working on? One. Working with camera 1. Wait, I think... What? X. Angle X, yeah. What the hell? This is weird. It's sort of working, but it's not working quite right. What if I do this? Okay. Well, it's moving along the right axis. It's just not not taking the right one. And now it's moving. Wait a minute. What the hell? The offset's not right. So we set it to... Oh yeah. Okay, so 20, 10, or maybe like 8. Maybe that's a little too... yeah, to 8. 0, 16, 16. But this is technically 14. That's why it's not working right. And now I'm gonna get stuck again though. Aren't I? No, but it's not. It's technically not rotating. It's not rotating around the. Okay, I know what's up. Into cam X and cam Y and cam Z. What the hell? Oh yeah, that's right. Camera X 1. Here we go. Highest. Ah yes, omelette de fromage. Yes, omelette de fromage indeed. Okay, so now set the position to the position of the camera, not the position of the object. Oh yeah, that's right. Why am I moving it back? Why am I moving it back? I'm not supposed to be moving it back. It's supposed to be there. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, so cancel all of this. Current XYZ. Well. XYZ. That's why it was moved. So I need to offset it just by a bit more, basically. So let's do like 16. There we go. So all I need to do is just get it the fuck out of the way. And I'm pretty sure it just needs to be outside of the radius of the camera collision object. Realistically, so that's like maybe 20. Almost 25, I think. There we go. That's what I needed. Interesting how it's receiving shadows too. It's really cool. So now, essentially all I need to do is how do I disable collisions? I can't disable collisions for that object. God damn it. Also, here's what I need to do, technically. Where's my gravity? And it's YSP. Move local Y. Yeah, that's what I need to do. So before I do this, if sphere hit does not equal to 0, apply gravity. And sphere hit does not equal to oh jeez, my dad's asking for passwords for the TeamViewer stuff for his computer. I told him to create the account, so he wouldn't have to do it. Player object, climb sphere. As long as it's not a climb sphere object, advance the thing. But if it is, hold on a second, what? Sphere not touching objects, and it is touching the climb sphere. So we just need to ignore the fact that it's always contacting the climb sphere. Create object sphere. I think so. Yeah, still touching it. Oh yeah. Let's set this up to 12 so that it actually contacts it. No, really? Really? Now you're gonna do this shit. Okay, so I know that it's contacting it now, because if I go into the YSP thing, right, if I go into the YSP thing, if sphere is not touching objects. I mean, maybe I don't need to do this, and all I gotta do is make the sphere a little bit smaller, like maybe 10. Maybe. Who knows? I'll probably still have to move it outside of this radius. Excuse me. 15. So it's gotta be 16. It's quite a distance. No, isn't it? What the hell? Oh yeah. That's right. Gotta do 26, because... No, not 26. So it's 16, but it's gotta be 21, isn't it? It's half the radius plus the distance. It's smart like that, you see? Okay, here we go. So technically, if I set this to 20, it should return a collision now and not work. Unless it's some sort of finicky. Which it is, apparently. Okay, so let's see how close is this object to us. Maybe. I mean, I'm thinking, yeah, I mean, technically, I need this thing to be much closer. Okay, just for the sake of an argument, as long as we're walking up, if I think it's a sphere, no, it's object cast, wasn't it? What is this thing? Here we go. Object raycast. Object sphere slide. Cast. Object raycast bounce. What is this? Returns the X component of the bounce effective the last collision check. Raycast slide, number of hits. That's useful. Cast hit ID. Returns the ID of the hit given collision. Index in the last collision check. You can check the number of valid indices. Number of hits. Starting at index 0. See, this is man. This is where using the sphere cast, object sphere slide or sphere cast would come in useful. Because then I could have just used that. What about point? Can I raycast a point? Object raycast, what else can I do? I can do a sprite raycast, that's useful. So here's what I need to do. I need to use the raycast of the object that I've created up there to see if there's a collision happening where the object is at. Problem is that it's a little bit more finicky than that. So let's try this. Here we go. Object raycast AGK object raycast. Okay. In fact, isn't there actually a raycast along one axis? Get object raycast slide Y. That's what I need. Returns the Y component of the final resting position of slide. Oh no, that just returns the resting point for the sliding collisions. Returns the Y component of the point of collision for given collisions index. Ah, okay. So how about this? Raycast will use our sphere, not sphere last hit, it's this thing. Climb sphere. X, Y, Z. X, Y, Z. Integer climb ID equals. Oh yeah, I can't use X, Y, Z. What the hell am I doing? I gotta use current. God damn it. Here we go. If climb ID does not equal to 0, which means there is a collision, we need to say AJK object set. Whoops. XYZ, except Y will be plus 10. I just want to see some sort of visible feedback here. If I actually go down here where the collision is, better probably just do the same thing I was trying to do here. Let's see if it works. This offset here, isn't it? Okay, it's sort of working. It's a little shitty. But I'm sure that what I can do is I can do the following. Let me get rid of this thing. Right, and instead of doing that, we'll just do this while the sphere does not return a 0.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's try it. Oh. I think I'll need to look up a collision script. Yeah, let me look up
have a collision script on this thing. Collision walls, collision zones. Collisions. Set object collision mode. This is interesting. But I knew I could do that though. So before I start going any further, I'm gonna need to copy this project. Dream Temple. Okay. So, here's the deal. My X and Y collisions are gonna have to actually work from a different sphere hit, isn't it? So I know that this stuff works. .3D collisions are always such a bitch and a half. Always. So I know that this stuff works. Except when it doesn't. Ah, that's why this thing was here. Only for falling should the gravity be affecting us. Oh, smart. This is probably gonna freeze my thing because I need to do the check inside of the loop. This thing. So first we position, then we check again. What the hell? Yeah, how about I just don't do this? Sphere climb. Can I just get rid of this entire thing, please? I gotta like, I kind of want to remove these Hedron Online soundtracks from here. I'm too tired of them. so while sphere hit is not returning a 0, which means that it is colliding with something, we're going to set the object player to something. It's frustrating. I need to look this up. My script is clearly not working quite well. So, let's see. First of all, search. Did I spell collisions right? Of course I didn't. Collisions, 1 L. But no, 2 L's. LL. 3D collision. Current best practice. Hey, that's a nice question. Examples, huh? "3D physics world, setting up physics bodies," huh? Check this out, actually. New file from template main. Test physics. Huh. Okay. Yeah, let's not do that. Oh yeah. Let's just do a new project. Test physics. Total objects created, and it crashed. Ah, Lord. Okay. Okay. looking interesting. And there it goes. Okay. I can't imagine you can have too many of these physics objects though. Interesting. This is fine and dandy. Except all of this uses the built-in physics system, not a custom set. Tricky, tricky. Why am I checking +5 when it's supposed to be -1 or -0.5? This was kind of weird. Hold on a second. No. What was here before? Okay, so X, Y, Z, and then it's supposed to be X, Y, Z, float radius, unsigned object integer. Evil Taco, how's it going? Okay, so What if I go minus 0.5 here? 0.5 F for that matter. Okay, so what do we have here? Everything fails when we have a little bit of snow. Yeah, also everybody forgets how to drive, so yeah. Okay, so I mean, logically, this would make sense, wouldn't it? I don't really know how fast I'm going, but this whole thing is messed up. So it adds y, which is upwards, right? What about the level ascension stuff? So lift is 1,000, but am I adding lift or am I subtract? No, lift is yeah, lift is a positive, so positive values are up. So I'm supposed to be checking down. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into what the hell this thing is. Oh, I think I should be using object raycast, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Object raycast, we have to use... No, it's gotta be a sphere slide. What the hell does this thing take? Object sphere cast, but over multiple iterations. Okay, object sphere cast. Yeah, that's what I'm using. Ah. But I need a sphere. But I have a sphere. It would be object player. Because that's the sphere I'm using. Okay, seriously. Idea of the object to check 0 for all. Ah, I see. I gotta check all the objects. Current X, Y, Z. So Y minus 0.5. And radius. I see. Okay. I see how it is. I really have to recode this entire thing. God damn it. Got a response from the Polygon store. I was asking if they keep track of the kind of purchases you make so you don't buy multiple textures the same texture multiple times. nice. Okay, so Polygon can actually hide already downloaded textures. So over the course of a couple of months, you can actually get yourself quite an amazing library of textures. So that's good. That's actually fantastic. Okay, so here's what I need to do. I think I'm doing this in a kind of a backwards manner. So first thing that I need to do is I need to... Okay, it's coming to me. First thing I need to do is do the sphere slide, but check the sphere slide. Where am I adding the player? YSP. It's not anywhere below. It's got to be up here. Move player down Y. Okay, got it. So what I need to do now is I need to check whether or not the position at which we're about to move towards is filled if there's a contact in there. Right. If there is a contact, so we'll... No, see, this is not what I'm supposed to do. Let me comment this out for a second. So we check the thing. Right. Okay. So we check the advanced position. If the sphere hit does not return a 0, then YSP, I can take YSP. Yes, so in that case, I can actually go ahead and move the player down. Then YSP is going to increase by the gravity. We said else, if there is a hit, then we're gonna have to set YSP to 0 if it's falling. Yes, okay. There were build errors, I know. Tell me all about it. If else... Unless this thing is not... Okay, yeah, here we go. This is a pretty old collision script. I'm surprised it's working enough as it is. Okay. Okay, so this is where I'm supposed to do this. So, if the position we're about to move in is clear, move him there. If it's not clear, still move him there. But now, for as long as this thing, we sample it, and for as long as this thing returns a collision, we'll move them upwards. I guess we should really sample this afterwards, shouldn't we? There's a problem though. I have to use the get and set positions here instead of using these variables. Shit. I guess I should do minus. No, not minus, plus. Yeah, because it needs to move up. Well, okay, here we go. What happens here? Of course, yes. Right, so this is kind of like an infinite. Infinite crawler. The only thing I don't like is that jitter. App Game Kid doing the physics? Actually, no, I'm doing the physics. App Game Kid does have physics, but I mean, considering that I'm not really sure how App Game Kid handles a lot of physics objects. I've got levels here that range from like 200 up to like 1,000 objects. So while App Game Kid is pretty damn good at not rendering stuff that's not inside of your camera view, I'm not too sure about physics stuff. I mean, it would take a test for me or ask the developers on the forum to see how it does, but I started with a coded collision system, so in my case I'm just kind of trying to make this system work. Right? So I'm just trying to figure out this stuff. And I'm using a collision system based on the stuff I saw or I've done in GameMaker Studio. The collision system there is pretty straightforward. It says if you check the position you're about to go into, and check if that position returns a collision trigger, or returns a true for a collision. If it does not, just move the player there. If it does, move the player there, but then back up 1 pixel at a time in a loop until it returns a false, and that's how you get pixel perfect collisions. I'm trying the same system here. The problem is that, I mean, don't mind the fact that I'm like instantly jumping up an object. That's like a minor addition in terms of code. What really bothers me is the fact that I'm standing still and it's still kind of running this microscopic collision check. So I'm thinking maybe I need to do YSB equals to 0. .0f. I don't want to be converting it to an integer. Maybe. It's still running. See, in order for it to return that there is a collision, it needs to still apply the gravity to it. So realistically, I need to have 2 collision checks, don't I? Sphere hit 1 and sphere hit 2. Maybe. I mean, let's see. What am I checking here? I don't suppose that, no. Changing the precision amount for this stuff is just going to make matters worse, and the loop to execute even longer. I mean, it's not as visible anymore. It's still there. So here's the deal. I know how to fix this thing. Because technically, So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the collision with the reposition y, and in this loop, whoopsie, if sphere hit does not return a 0, I'm going to add reposition y. Oh man, hold on a second. Can't I? Yeah, hold on. If I actually do this plus YSP, can't I actually just say if this plus YSP is equals to is returning a collision? So if sphere hit does not equal to 0, so it does return an ID of an object it collided with, then we'll do this. We'll minus the YSP. Maybe. Well. Oh, well, we just hit an infinite loop, so that's fantastic. But, so, else, if it does not return an ID, which means it's a 0, then we're going to go ahead and apply it. So this is all going to be done within a loop. Okay, I just want to check if it's like, it's not looping through stuff. But once again, oh, we'll just hit the infinite loop again. But why is it not working? Also, what happens when I get to the hill? Okay, yeah. Any tiny change is gonna screw it up. Okay. So, once again, don't need this. So, if we get a hit, then first of all, if we're falling down, which we are, we'll set the YSP to 0. Then for as long as the collision is not clear, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at, because this thing is 0, this thing will always return a 0. Well, that's not fun. So that could only be a part of the problem, though. Could this be only a part of the problem? Apparently. So what if I go AGK print YSP? Right, let's assume that it knows. Put a breakpoint in the code. Yes, but the breakpoint would let me know where the issue takes place. But technically, I know where it takes place. It just... Okay, so as you can see... See, that thing, that value is not supposed to change while I'm on the ground. I need to completely rethink the Y collisions. Because right now there's a whole bunch of tossing going on between... okay. Object sphere slide. Hold on, how big is... no. Well... this just moves the... unless that's what... unless that's my problem right there. AGK set object position. Instead of move local Y, how about I'll do this? Get no, that's what I was doing over there. So why is it... ah, man. Okay, so... see, I need to move the object just like 1 pixel before it returns a no collision. Because if it returns a no collision, it adds gravity to it, which puts it back, which then does the loop of lifting it up, which, okay, so maybe I gotta do basically this. Plus YSP, and I gotta do minus 0.01. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, that's still gonna happen, I know that much. Okay, what can I do? I need to keep... there's gotta be a range between which neither gravity nor the loop is active. So I need to do a raycast. Right. Is my object actually is the player object? Did I disable collisions for it? let's see, in the setup. Collisions mode 0. Yeah, I did. Okay, so I'm not an idiot. Not completely, at least. So what if I do 2 raycasts? One for determining whether the loop will be active, and one for determining whether the thing will be active, the gravity will be active. Okay, so let's do that. I do need the floor contact though. This is far glowy stuff. So let's do the following. So sphere hit, grav, and then sphere hit loop. Before we're going to get this thing, we are going to make it easy for ourselves to read this shit and get the coordinates of the player. We're gonna start with, and I'm not supposed to be using old, am I? Actually, why shouldn't I? I mean, I'm not using this shit anywhere. I'm also not using current anywhere, do I? I'm using it here, so yeah, that should be fine. That should be okay. Current X. Current X. Current Y, and current Z. Same deal here. Current X, current Y, plus YSP, current Z. Don't need this. And the radius will be 15. Same thing would have to come up here, except the loop is going to ask for the YSP. However, this thing will need to ask for not YSP, but it's going to be YSP plus 0.1. Let's start with this. Now, this stuff I need to declare. Don't need this thing. Okay. So this one will check if there's a collision that needs to have gravity applied to it. So as soon as we're above the threshold, gravity will be applied. This one, so if this one does not return a 0, which means that there's a collision, then we're gonna go ahead and gradually sample the position. So once again, I need to sample the same stuff. Object, sphere, slide, check against all objects, plus YSP, plus YSP, yes. I'm gonna do this for now and hope that if it works, I'll change it to also sample the position to temporary variables. So we will do this while this thing does not return a 0. right? Right. So we sample, and we got to do sphere hit loop. Sample the position. Is sphere hit loop not empty? So if it has a collision, do +1. And let's comment this out for a second. Then we do it again. Loop. Maybe I should start actually with a subtraction, because we already do return a collision. So collision, yes. Actually, I don't even need this. I mean, technically, this would only trigger if there was a collision there. And let's do 0.5 actually for this thing. Okay. So as soon as this thing, and where does this thing end? Far away. Okay. As soon as we return a collision, add +5, and now check the presence of a collision with the updated value. Is it still there? Continue doing it. Check. Is it still there? If yes, okay. So once it breaks out of the loop, which is the point where this thing no longer returns it, then we move the player according to that value, I think. It seems right logically, not according to this guy. Okay, identifier not identified. Position rotate. Oh yeah, that's right. Don't need this. Anything else? Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. There was something, wasn't there? Climb sphere. What is this stuff? Oh yeah, this was the old attempt at the same system. Okay, what else? Okay, nothing, so it says. Okay, it's still doing the same shenanigans. So let's go over down here and take a look at this. So gravity goes into a negative value if there's gravity involved. Minus, yep, here we go. Okay, so how about we be a little bit, oh wait, hold on a second. +1. Let's be a little bit more generous with these values. Okay. Okay, so here's my goal for now. Stop the player as soon as he hits the ground, and stop the Y speed from advancing. Okay. Maybe I'm thinking of this as a far too complicated system. Oh yeah, let me see what it actually returns after the loop. But it's got to be... And this is actually the reason why my other stuff is not, my jump is not working, but that's okay. We'll figure this out. Did I copy? Yes, I did. Of course I copied. Okay. How about one step at a time? First thing I want to do is I want to stop the YSP as soon as it hits the ground. Which, I mean, is going to be me going back to my old system. You know what? What if, hold on a second. What if I replace these values? The gravity is supposed to be a little bit further down. Okay. Okay. So now if I go +1, considering I'm working with pretty small objects, the 1 pixel distance is actually quite a bit. Let's do else YSP is equals to 0. Which technically it's supposed to be this thing. If YSP is below 0, which means it's gravity going down, then it should be set to 0. If it's below or equals to 0. Thank you very much. Well, it's still doing it. Same shenanigans. This thing is still at it. Okay, now this, the loop. So technically we need to keep the player at far enough for the YSP to not be returning, to not be subtracted by the gravity. So the YSP collision to still be returning true, but far enough for the script that moves the player up until the collision returns a false. I still don't like the fact that it's jumping up and down. This is the jump mechanic. Okay, well, we're a quarter way there. Okay, so let's turn off the loop for now, for a second. Actually, I do need the loop, so, or I do need this thing. I just need to get rid of the loop and of else. This is what I need to get rid of. Okay, so now that we have the loop out of the way, let's get the let's get this thing to behave properly. So the gravity, isn't this thing supposed to be -1? As in down? Maybe that's why it wasn't working. But the loop is disabled either way, so it doesn't matter. Okay. So I can effectively just comment this out for a moment. What do you people think? Okay. Maybe I should be doing this in reverse, actually. In reverse. So if it does not, so yeah, okay. So if it does not return a 0, we will set the YSP to 0. Else, and close. So else, we will do this stuff. Maybe that's the order of the checks I gotta do. Yeah. Where else am I using YSP? This is the jumping mechanic. I'm not using YSP like anywhere else. I'm setting it in the setup or the reset player, so wait a minute, isn't this supposed to be after? Am I not supposed to set it after I add the gravity to it? Hey! It's not returning a thing anymore. Okay. So right, so now the loop needs to engage just barely up until point right before. The loop needs to stop moving the player up right before this thing returns a no collision as well. But not at, it should not set it to no collision. So let's enable this for the sake of sanity and logic. I'll move this thing down. Let's now re-enable this stuff. Oh, come on. You, no, control you, okay. I'll keep the jumping mechanic off. And wait, jumping. Oh, that's the reset. I'll also have to probably do this. Okay. Now, the position we need to check is same as gravity, so A, except +1. So plus one pixel. Well, yeah. 1 unit of measurement. I don't know what, I'm not sure this is working in pixels, because you can move vertices half a pixel, which makes no goddamn sense. Okay, so if this returns a hit, do YSP plus. I fucked that up now, didn't I? It's supposed to be plus equals, not equals plus. Fuck me. Okay. Chances are this is still not gonna work. Knowing my luck. Okay. So what do we have with this stuff? Okay, okay. Okay, we're starting to get there. We're a little bit bouncy, but we're starting to get there. So how about we'll move up that amount. Okay. Just a bit. The bounciness is still there. Oh yeah, this thing needs to match, doesn't it? What happens if I disable it? I'm pretty sure that I'm just gonna end up in an infinite loop because it has no way of updating that thing up there. Yeah, okay, so that was that. All right, so copy this. Yes. Put it in here and also sample the position, because once again we're inside of a loop. The loop should be getting its own inputs. Okay. Jesus Christ. Whoopsie. Oh, Lord. Okay. Object sphere. Maybe I'm supposed to use object raycast for this one. Sphere slide. Why am I using sphere slide? Aren't I supposed to just check the final position? Let me see. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Too many arguments. Yes, that's right. Or maybe it's a, hold on. Raycast. Isn't there a sphere raycast feature as well? Ray. Sphere cast 3D physics ray. Or cast. Sphere cast. Object sphere cast. Yes. What am I using here? Or what was I using? Sphere slides. So let's do cast. Object sphere cast. Object sphere cast. Okay, not too many arguments. It's not complaining. We're still here. Yeah, that doesn't really help me. However, I do want to actually also print the following. So we'll do print C, YSP, and we'll also do print C, obj player Y. And this is why I need to use current Y. It could be that current Y is just not getting updated. Print C, please. That is what I'm trying to use. So one thing that I found out is that this engine natively supports normal maps. So that is pretty damn good. That and light maps. Not much of anything else. You'd have to use a custom shader to take advantage of any other maps. Okay, YSP. Oh. Okay, are you seeing that? Object player Y remains at 0. So that's probably because I'm using move object local Y instead of AGK set object position, and we're gonna use set object position player object X Y Z. Y will be plus YSP instead of local Y, because local does not do anything for us. Same thing with this thing. Local coordinates don't do much for us. Okay, so it says it's at 0. It says YSP is at 60 though. Okay, here we go. Why does it reset player object Y? What the hell? Local. Where else am I using local? X and Y. Whoa, hold on. Move player Z and X. Move object local Z, X. Okay, but that's not Y. Why in the hell is it? Oh, motherfucker. That's okay. That's okay. That's all right. That's okay. That's all right. We got it. We got it. We got it. I got 2 days off tomorrow. We got it. We can do this. Jeez. Okay. There we go. Now this is the correct value. Okay. Here we go. The bounciness is not all that. See? There's values. Okay, what else am I not doing right? What else? Can I do world X, or is there not? Okay, this is new. Maybe this gets the global position, this gets the local. Okay, let me take a look at that actually. Get object so X. Get object exists. That's useful. Here. World X. Or world Y, whatever I want. Returns the current Y position of the object in the world coordinates. It takes into account parent positions as a result of fixed object. That makes sense. Okay, so now what happens when I do X? Get object X. Returns the current X position of the object. Whoa, what the fuck is the difference? It doesn't say it's local. God damn it. Okay. Bouncy, bouncy. What the oh, this is my skybox. Wait, hold on. What does the value actually change when I do that? Let's see. Yeah, it does. YS. Okay, here we go. So YSP gets. This happens over here. Sphere hit loop is the same one as here. Okay, so maybe don't use YSP. Maybe, or we'll do float displace or disp y will be equals to 0.0f. Instead of doing this, we'll say add this and check whether the collision happens there. And let's just start with this thing alone. Then once this happens, add that thing there. Okay. Because the reason the whole jump happens is because flout, yes. Flout is an amazing data type. Extremely useful variable. Okay. Okay, here we go. It's not launching me anywhere. Also, I think that's why... Okay, here we go. Okay. I got it. So the reason why it was launching me in the air is because YSP has to do with speed, not absolute position. So essentially, when I was moving up here, it said, in order to get up on top of this object, I needed to add anywhere like starting from 12 units of YSP. The problem is that 12 units is a speed value, so it would continue launching me 12 units until the gravity slowly slowed me down. So that's why that was working. So now that this is working, and as you can see, while I'm moving up, for the most part, the YSP is staying at 0. So all I need to do is just to move myself up at a slower rate, I think. I just need to move myself up just enough for the YSP not to engage. I feel like I'm so close. It's very choppy though. It's like really choppy. It's mostly when I'm going downhill that it's triggering the thing. Right, and this thing is fairly straightforward. Yep, you see that that movement there is not very nice either. Mainly because the smaller increments I move the player up, the longer the loop takes to take me up. So effectively, the game, the freeze that the loop causes becomes more and more apparent. This is a... The thing is, this is some sort of a system. The problem comes later. Okay, so what was I doing here? I think I was adding +1 for this collision. Maybe +1. Hey, that's actually pretty smooth. And as I'm going up, it's not complaining. It's not stuttering. Could it be that I fixed it and now I have Y movement up and down? Please tell me that I do. Oh, please tell me that I do. This would be so amazing. I mean, obviously I'll fix this in a second, but for the most part, like, I mean, with this stuff, all I have to do is check if the movement I'm about to move up is gonna be like above a certain value, so that you can't go up an incline that is of a certain angle, right? So, although what I'm about to do may or may not break it, but at least let me see what this Y actually returns. Let's see. So how about this? I'll do a temporary variable player. So temp last displace Y. And while we are calculating displace Y, I'm going to say temp last displace Y will be equals to displace Y. So this way, it's not a temporary variable. It's not going to get erased right after we get out of the, right after this loop is completed, as in like the entire function loop. So all I have to do is say this and print it. Maybe, yeah. Oh man, okay. So last dis Y. Let's take a look. Come on. No, oh, come on. God damn it. That's right. Okay, so here. If last dis Y is below the new one, only then add it, because then we can just we can only get the highest one. the highest one in there. Okay. Here we go. Come on. 32. So any incline that is higher than 32, well, technically that's higher than like maybe 10. We're not supposed to do. So basically, although that poses a problem of us getting stuck inside of the loop, isn't it? Ah, maybe not. Okay, let's try this out. If this fly is below what, 10.0 f. See if this works. Okay, here goes nothing. Okay. Okay. We're oh yeah, okay. So not only do we have to okay, here's what's gonna happen. Instead of doing this, we're gonna check if it's above. As soon as it gets above maybe like 6, we're gonna break out of the loop so that it doesn't loop forever. And before we break out of the loop, we gotta set this y to 0.0 f. So that it doesn't move us above a certain incline. Let's see if this works. Okay, no collision. No collision so far. And what about an uphill? Uphill is also fucking not working. Okay, what let's see. Before we I need to do one more check in this case. So we'll say if is below this y equals this y. I still need to check what's the value of the incline that we're taking. Okay. And obviously I need to disable this. Ah, motherfucker. I know why it's not working. We need to, no, stop. Oh, for God's sakes. Okay. So we need to we need to only reset it if it's above 6. That's why it wasn't working. I said if it's below 6, and it's always below 6. Okay, well, this is a sign. I need to take a break. I need to do something else. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Shut up. No. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, so here we are. Is this thing working? Hey, look at that. We got it. We got it. We're getting up that little ledge, I think. That's a little bit. For the yeah, we are. And we're definitely not getting up here. The last thing I gotta do realistically, let's see, can we do an incline? Yes, we can. Beautiful. So I think this I can actually maybe turn up to maybe 12. As long as I don't make it above that fence, I should be okay. Can I stay here? Yes. And see, I gotta do this at 10 because it's causing the loop to slow down the game, which is not good. See, it sucks. Okay, and how about this? We're gonna go ahead and say if it gets above, what happens if I set it to 0.1? Is it gonna be terrible? I think it's gonna be too jaggedy. Maybe, yeah, probably. No, it's not. It's actually not. The descent is a little steppy, but that's okay. That's just the gravity working. So what about this stuff? Okay, here we go. We got it. We fucking got it. That's it. No stutters when you get close to an edge, because our step increase has basically doubled, well, increased 10 times. So instead of moving by 0.01, we move by 0.1. I set it to 0.01 because I had problems before, but not anymore apparently. So that's it. I can now do inclines. Hell yeah. This is awesome. This stuff I'll have to figure out, but you know, so far it's not too horrible. Oh yeah, as long as I'm here, let me see if maybe generating the UVs automatically would fix this problem. I doubt it, but you know, you never know. What is wrong with this face? Oh, it's like, what? Is it a little bit? It is a little bit stepped. It's messed up. Oh, that's why. Okay. I need to do mesh, edit mesh, triangulate. No, not this. Triangulate. Yeah, that's just all kinds of fucked up. But anyways, file, export selection, main menu island. Here we go, and let's. That was an OBJ file, right? I hope it was. Yeah, yes, OBJ file. Beautiful. Uh-oh. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Okay, well, it did something else. It didn't quite fix it, but that's okay. We can figure this out. All right. This is actually pretty cool. So now I have Y collisions along the Y-axis. And it seems to be working whichever way I'm walking on it. So, I mean, just a tiny bit crude, but if it gets the job done, then whatever, man. Right? There we go. Okay, well, that's it. I need a break. I'm probably gonna go downstairs and write some music. Still got a whole lot of that done. I need to make a CAD model of our CNC printer so that we can buy the appropriate parts. I have to I have to make up a parts list for the remaining of my lighting system, but we're gonna need the CNC machine in order to finish up a lot of that stuff. So thanks everybody for watching, for joining. As usual, these are daily live streams, and I'll see you tomorrow.